Hello and welcome to Clairview News Desk. We are reaching you live from Nigeria's capital city, Abuja. First, the headlines. Kidnapped Anambra lawmaker found dead near Niger Bridge. 13-year-old pupil arrested for threatening schoolmates with father's gun. Nigeria's Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association president calls for collective action to fight cancer. I'm Gloria Atta with these and more. Welcome. The Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DPOA, has called for a collective action from all relevant stakeholders to put an end to the battle against cancer in the country. Speaking at a seminar on Wednesday in Abuja to commemorate the 2025 World Cancer Day, President of the association, Ogogo Musa, pledged solidarity with women affected by cancer and their families, and further reaffirmed her commitment to supporting their fight against the devastating disease. Let's now join Clairview's correspondent for details. Accounting for nearly 10 million deaths in 2020, or nearly 1 in 6 deaths, cancer remains one of the leading causes of deaths worldwide. The most common types are breast, lung, cervical, colon and rectum, and prostate cancers. Although prevalence of the disease varies in countries, cervical cancer is the most common in 23 countries. In 2024, the World Health Organization released an alarming projection indicating that global cancer cases will surge by 77% to 35 million by 2050. In Nigeria, the cancer burden is also alarming, with approximately 127,000 new cases and 79,000 cancer-related deaths reported in 2022. As conversations around cancer detection, prevention and treatment continue across different fora, members of the Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DPOA, have converged on Abuja for a one-day awareness seminar in commemoration of the 2025 World Cancer Day. In her remarks, President of the association, Ogogo Musa, said the seminar is aimed at creating awareness and increasing knowledge about the disease, as well as canvassing for action towards putting an end to the scourge of cancer in the country.
Although Nigeria has advanced in its national cancer control program and made progress towards expanding care for millions of people, the increasing burden of the disease with significant out-of-pocket healthcare spending has put a huge financial burden on families. Therefore, the battle against cancer calls for collective efforts to raise awareness, funds, and support in this fight. This year, World Cancer Day themed United by Unique highlights the fact that each person has a unique story, need, perspective, and experience, which must be factored into their care and our collective efforts at defeating this monster.
The seminar featured lectures on cancer prevention, management and treatment from medical experts, as well as question and answer sessions and testimonies from cancer survivors.
How do we create a summary, a sustainable, healthy lifestyle is building your healthy habits. Like I said, build healthy habits. Enjoy your support system. You cannot live in isolation. If you like to be isolated, then maybe you're doing something more. That's why I love talking to groups. Everyone, you're wearing beautiful orange caps, so I know you're an organization. Enjoy being part of it. Support and not being in isolation is a very healthy thing. Self-care is non-negotiable. Take times for reading, spa treatments, walks, or just journaling. Your time, have a me time.
Excessive alcohol consumption
exposure to aflatoxins. So what are aflatoxins? Aflatoxins are fungi or fungus, if you want to call it that, which grow on poorly stored grains. So you have your groundnuts, you have your maize, guinea corn and all of that. When they are stored poorly, sometimes you notice some mold that grow on them, and then we use it to make pap, use it to make all sorts of food, even alcohol. The locally brewed alcohol, that is used to make. So that fungus has something we call aspergillus, which is an aflatoxin and has been found to be a direct cause of liver cancer.
This is not only for the individual cancer awareness. Cancer awareness also helps the healthcare systems. The healthcare systems have different blocks, and when you're discussing cancer awareness, we have talked to even our policies. We have under the health system blocks, we have the governance, the healthcare financing, and so many other aspects, health, workforce, service delivery. And so when people are aware about this disease, more friendly, impactful events, programs are put in place.
The event also featured a cultural dance presentation and the launch of a new uniform for members of the association. Nigeria, often perceived as one of the major recipients of foreign aid, has a lesser-known history of providing significant support to other African countries. From donating the old headquarters building of the African Union to establishing the Nigerian Trust Fund at the African Development Bank, Nigeria's immense contributions to Africa's development are multifaceted. Clairview takes you through some of Nigeria's major contributions as donors.
Nigeria has played a crucial role in the establishment of the African Development Bank in 1964 and was instrumental to the creation of the Economic Community of West African States, ECOWAS. The country has also been a key player in the African Export and Import Bank, Afrexim Bank, established in 1993 to promote African trade. Nigeria has provided foreign aid through various channels, including the Nigerian Technical Aid Corps, which shares the country's expertise with other African, Caribbean, and Pacific countries. Additionally, Nigeria has offered free university education to thousands of African students from other countries. Despite these significant contributions, Nigeria's role in Africa's development and foreign aid remains largely unacknowledged as the country continues to face its own developmental challenges. It is essential to recognize and appreciate its efforts to support other African nations. This is coming on the backdrop of the Trump administration's stand on foreign aid to African countries in 2025, which has been marked by significant cuts. On January 20, 2025, the White House issued an executive order initiating the withdrawal of the United States from the World Health Organization (WHO) and halting new funding for the organization. Additionally, President Trump also announced a 90-day pause in U.S. development assistance to assess its alignment with American interests. This decision has raised concerns among humanitarian organizations as the U.S. is the world's largest humanitarian aid donor. The potential impact of this cut on African countries is significant as key areas of concern, such as global health, which offers restriction on sex education and family planning programs, could lead to dramatic increases in maternal mortality rates and the spread of sexually transmitted infections. Climate change, another area of concern, also raises fears of renewed U.S. disengagement from domestic and international climate initiatives. While humanitarian responsive, whose potential reduction could lead to resource gaps in critical humanitarian programs with funding reductions, which could also have a significant impact on global food security initiatives. Florence Joshua reporting for Clairview News Desk.
Meanwhile, Nigeria's former Minister of Youth and Sports, Solomon Dalong, has described Nigerian youths as a wasted generation. In an exclusive interview with some journalists in Abuja, Dalong lamented that rather than aspiring to be governors or to be elected into leadership positions in Nigeria, young people are busy flocking around politicians who do not care about the development of the country. Clairview News' Imefonokon has the details.
Despite Nigeria's large youth population, many young people are not meaningfully involved in politics and the economy. Dalong said it is rather sad that young people with numerous potentials and good academic qualifications have resorted to following people with no certificate rather than aspiring to be leaders themselves.
The young people of this country are a wasted generation. I'm not insulting them. Why are they wasted? Buhari became a governor of northeastern state, which is now northeast region with all the state at the age of 41. Gawan became a head of state at 32. Gomo became a governor at 29. Kensarewa became a commissioner at 25. The young people today at 40, some of them graduated with fantastic results. Their greatest ambition is to be a PA to a councillor who did not go to school. When will they be elected to give leadership in this country? Why would young people be aspiring to be PA? Why are they not aspiring to be governors?
While highlighting his achievement, Dalong laments over the current state of Nigeria, saying if the country had been like this when he was much younger, he would have been a chief priest because his parents would not have been able to afford his education.
At 20, I was employed in this country. At 20. And today I'm a pensioner. If Nigeria were like this, I would have been a chief priest. Because my parents couldn't have afforded education. It's education that liberated me that I'm talking. And then young people, with their education, they are supporting leaders who are not interested in developing this country. They insult people when you talk. Sometimes they tell me, oh, it's because Tinubu is not giving you opportunity. Let me tell young people in Nigeria, if I go to the villa now and repent, I will see Tinubu. Tinubu will snap picture with me. When my pockets are loaded with dollars, I will come out and be looking at this direction and tell them, I have seen the president and now understand that he meant well for this country, just like Daniel Bwala did.
Born on 26 September 1964, Solomon Dalong is a Nigerian lawyer, academic and politician who served as Nigeria's Minister of Youth and Sport from November 2015 to May 2019. Imefonokon reporting for Clairview News.
And outside the FCT, the lifeless body of Justice Azuka, the member representing Onitsha North 1 constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly, has been found by security operatives near the second Niger Bridge. Azuka, who was returning home for Christmas, was reportedly kidnapped at gunpoint in a swift operation that lasted less than 5 minutes on December 24, 2024, along Ugwunubankpa Road. The spokesperson for the Anambra State Police Command, Tochukwu Ikenga, confirmed the discovery on Thursday, saying a joint security team found the decomposing corpse during a routine patrol. The Lawmaker, a chieftain of the Labour Party, reclaimed his mandate following a court ruling that nullified the victory of Douglas Egbuna of the People's Democratic Party, who was initially declared the winner of the 2023 election. May his soul rest in peace. Similarly, bandits have reportedly kidnapped the former Director General of the National Youth Service Corps, Brigadier General Maharazu Tsiga, retired in Siga Village, Bakori local government area of Katsina State in the early hours of Thursday. According to eyewitness reports, the armed hoodlums stormed the community, shooting sporadically to scare residents. The bandits also killed one person and abducted at least 9 others, even as they were said to have ransacked several homes, carting away valuables. Meanwhile, the state police public relations officer is yet to speak on the matter. More details to come in our subsequent bulletin. Now, the police in Akwa Ibom State have arrested a 13-year-old boy for carrying about his father's gun, threatening to shoot fellow pupils at the St. Paul's Primary School, Ikotibiok, Eket local government area of the state. The suspect confessed he had been with the said gun since November 2024, that he got it from a wardrobe in his father's bedroom. The father was later arrested. Investigation is still ongoing. The Akwa Ibom State Commissioner of Police, Baba Mohammed Azare, who disclosed this on Wednesday in Uyo, said the teenage suspect's father has also been arrested. If you are just joining us, you're watching the news on Clairview News Desk. We will be back after this break. Stay with us.
No one, after lighting a lamp, puts it under a bushel. This is therefore a call to individuals, organizations, embassies, political office holders, and more to inform the world about their activities and achievements through documentaries. Here at Clairview, we parade the masters in the business of producing world-class documentaries. Show your stuff to the world by first contacting us through telephone number 0704 244 1177 or email us at clairviewnewsroom@gmail.com. Watch Clairview News at 7 p.m. daily, Monday to Friday on MITV, channel 255, DSTV, and on our YouTube and Facebook pages. Clairview News Desk. We clear the view, one time and for all time.
Welcome back. Nigerian singer Habib Okikiola, popularly known as Portable, has cried out as the Ogun State government reportedly seals his uncompleted building and hotel in Shangwater over illegal development. Portable alleged that about 20 of his customers and workers were taken into detention during the sealing of the properties. He also claimed that the alcoholic beverages at his bar were confiscated during the operation. The notice of contravention shared on Instagram by the Zazu crooner showed that the properties were sealed by the Ogun State Planning and Development Authority. Across the world and in Nigeria, journalists face countless stresses. An analysis conducted by the Dart Center for Journalism and Trauma at the Columbia University, New York, showed that between 2001 and 2014, over 80% to 100% of journalists have in some way been exposed to work-related traumatic events that potentially pose a risk for long-term psychological problems, including PTSD, depression, and substance abuse. In this special report, Clairview's correspondent gives perspectives on coping mechanisms for journalists practicing in Nigeria and beyond.
In Nigeria today, talks that border around mental health is continuing to gain popularity among its populace. This is because research has identified stress as part of the many factors that can lead to mental health problems and other medical issues. Mental health challenges are associated with certain high-stress occupations such as medicine, policing, students, teaching, and informal sector operators. Evidence suggests that excessive demands of the occupation, coupled with low income, job insecurity, low status, and physical fatigue, contribute to mental health occupational hazards. Journalism in Nigeria is characterized by all these predisposing factors, as journalists are constantly faced with deadlines, overflowing email inboxes, having to journey on a daily basis to work, most times in traffic jam, closing late from work, coupled with poor salaries and benefits, and oftentimes no pay at all. Reporting certain topics, coupled with the stress and mental health strain that come from these stories, pose a major challenge for journalists. Journalists who cover conflicts, refugee stories, climate and natural disasters, violence, abuse and harassment, as well as human stories, face problems such as anxiety, depression, sleep and eating disorders, burnout, trauma, and post-traumatic stress disorder. Journalists also personally face harassment, assault, violence online and in person, and have to deal with uncertain working hours. These end up taking a toll on their well-being and effective delivery of their watchdog functions. It has therefore become important to come up with some mechanisms to deal with the stressors. In an exclusive interview, some journalists at Clairview News Desk give perspectives on their personal routine in managing work-related stress.
Luckily for me, I have a strong family support system. So
When I go home, I try to socialize as much as I can with, say, my siblings, and then I try to rest. Try to maybe get some sleep, cold shower. It depends on the day, cold or warm shower. And then just stay still on bed for a while. Rest, fiddle with my phone a bit. And then either listen to music or watch some movies. Or I just isolate myself or travel after a while. If I'm too stressed, I just take out some time, a day or two, just travel or go somewhere green and just see a beautiful scenery or a green environment or where there's lots of water, something different from my normal everyday schedule. I think to manage stress, you need to even know your stressors. You need to know what is stressing you. And you need to know at what point and at what time you are stressed. You know your body. So if you need to take out the necessary time to distress, you should.
One of the ways I manage stress is that when I close from work, I try as much as I can not to allow whatever that happened during the day to follow me to the house. I don't think about it. I let go of whatever thing that happened during the day. I free my mind from it. So I try as much as I can to rest. I like doing things that make me happy, like going to the choir, singing, or just be there. I don't really sing like others, but once I'm there, I'm happy because it gives me joy when I'm singing. So it also helps me relax my nerves.
The job journalism is very stressful. In my case, what I do is to have my day planned out. I know ahead of time what I will be doing for that day. So I prepare my mind for it. So I have my schedule. And when I'm out of work, I play music a lot. You can see my radio here. I listen to music to ease off stress.
Personally, what I do is I make out time to have a social gathering. I just find a place to relax my brain after work because this job is quite tasking. By the time from your news gathering, where you're in the field, gatherings, reports, back to the office, writing your stories, you pass it to the editors, the scripts editing, the video editing. You see, there is a whole lot of process, so it is quite tasking. So at the end of the whole day, all I do is just look for somewhere and relax my brain, and I think that solves. It makes me kind of make me refreshed for the next day's challenge.
We do a lot of mental activities with our brains as journalists. That's why you need to really take care of your mental health. When you're tired, you can take breaks in between your job, even though it's minutes or seconds. You tend to ease your nerves and stay away from any form of anxiety. I tend to avoid things that makes me angry. I make myself happy.
Work-related stress is a silent killer. It is therefore imperative that employers and employees have conversations that border around creating a conducive environment to enhance productivity.
And that's the news. But before we go, a recap of the top stories.
The lifeless body of Justice Azuka, the member representing Onitsha North 1 constituency in the Anambra State House of Assembly, has been found by security operatives near the Second Niger Bridge. Police in Akwa Ibom State have arrested a 13-year-old boy for carrying about his father's gun, threatening to shoot fellow pupils at the St. Paul's Primary School, Ikotibiok, Eket local government area of the state. The Defense and Police Officers' Wives Association, DPOA, has called for a collective action from all relevant stakeholders to put an end to the battle against cancer in the country.
You can follow up on latest events and happenings around you via our social media platforms on Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube at Clairview News Desk, or via our handle on X, formerly known as Twitter, at Clairview Online. Many thanks for joining us. I am Gloria Atta. Bye for now.